Rockstar's next installment in the cult series, GTA 6, returns players to their beloved Vice City, a sunny, oceanfront metropolis where a true action thriller unfolds in the spirit of the best mafia films. The story centers on Lucia and Jason, a criminal couple who find themselves in serious trouble, and only together can they overcome it. A variety of heists, daring robberies, car thefts, and piracy will brighten up the romance of a modern-day Bonnie and Clyde. GTA 6 is the first game in the series to feature a female lead. Lucia is the determined gangster in this criminal duo, capable of facing any danger head-on. The ninth game in the main Resident Evil series, it picks up after the events of Village, returning players to the heart of the franchise, a dilapidated Raccoon City, shrouded in fear and radioactive darkness following a nuclear strike meant to contain the epidemic. The protagonist is FBI agent Grace Ashcroft, the daughter of reporter Ellis Ashcroft from the Outbreak games. She must investigate a series of mysterious deaths in the old hotel where her mother died, the key to unraveling the origins of a new bioterrorism. A remake of the cult role-playing game Gothic. Development began after the success of the Gothic playable teaser. The game takes place in a gloomy world shrouded in a magical dome. The protagonist is imprisoned there. Now, he must choose one of the factions and save the inhabitants from the ORCs. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake is a remake of the legendary third-person adventure. In addition to updated graphics, you can expect improved controls and combat. The game also includes the original Prince of Persia 1989, which can be launched from the remake's main menu. The game takes players into a reimagined origin story of James Bond, a young Navy pilot who, after a heroic act, is invited to join the OO program. Players will experience an intense spy thriller with a cinematic presentation, global missions, and chases across the globe. Stealth, combat, chases, and gadgets. Everyone can choose their own style. The story centers on the journey of a daring rookie who gradually transforms into the very same Agent 007, a dark and realistic action horror game where survival becomes a true challenge. The game takes place in an abandoned research fort, where every corridor conceals a threat, and aberrations, spawned by an unknown evil, relentlessly pursue. Enemies are unpredictable, and realistic physics make the game world not just a backdrop, but an active part of the gameplay, including during puzzle solving. Player actions can influence the monster's behavior and trigger unexpected reactions, from impulsive interactions with the environment to eerily human reflexes. A free-to-play action RPG that resembles a cross between Genshin Impact and GTA 5. The game takes place in a world similar to Earth, yet full of supernatural phenomena and urban legends. Players assume the role of Infinite Trigger, the best Esper investigator, eliminating anomalies and fighting the chaos that threatens all life. The main goal is to find the key to saving the world, which may be linked to the protagonist's lost memories. The game brings the Festival of Speed to Japan, one of the most anticipated locations in the series' history. Players will explore picturesque roads, iconic cities, and mountain serpentines where tradition and modernity collide. From neon-lit metropolis streets to tranquil villages and natural wonders, each race becomes part of a grand journey across a country fans have dreamed of for years. The game will retain the open world, freedom, and festive atmosphere that have made Forza Horizon so beloved, but will offer new challenges, fresh roots, and a unique Japanese aesthetic. By gradually earning status and reputation, players can rise to the level of a festival legend, leaving their mark on Horizon history in the land of the rising sun. A dark game with co-op mode from the creators of Little Nightmares 1 and 2. A brother and sister must rescue their missing friends and escape a creepy island. They'll explore abandoned buildings and caves, and even navigate a boat. Fragments of the children's traumatic past are reflected in the character and monster designs. Crimson Desert is a third-person multiplayer role-playing game set in a dark fantasy setting, a prequel to the MMO Black Desert. The protagonist is Macduff, son of Martinus. He leads a mercenary company, constantly feeling responsible for his team and worrying about those who rely on him. he has a tragic past that catches up with him. No matter how hard he tries to escape it, you'll experience the stories of several characters whose destinies intertwine with the protagonist and his mercenary group. Each character has their own unique roots and backstory, which influences everything from the decisions they make to the equipment they wear. This also extends to locations filled with other mercenary groups, each with their own interests and characteristics. The game offers a gripping single-player campaign, replete with quests based on the exploits of the mercenaries. The first game in the second season of the Dark Pictures anthology. The game takes place in space on the reconnaissance vessel Cassiopeia. The ship arrives at an exoplanet called Tau Ceti F, after which the crew begins to go mad. The culprit is a certain Charybdis, the name of a sea monster from ancient Greek mythology, an action-adventure game about Wolverine in the Marvel Universe from the creators of Marvel's Spider-Man and Ratchet and Clank. Rift Apart. Players will experience dynamic battles in which the hero utilizes adamantium claws, powerful combos, and the environment, turning every skirmish into a spectacular and bloody confrontation. The story connects various corners of the world, from cold Canada and the streets of Japan to the dangerous Madripoor, where spies, mutants, and mercenaries collide. Along the way, players will encounter new allies and familiar enemies from the comics, including Mystique and Omega Red. The tense adventure atmosphere and brutal combat style promise to show Wolverine in the most authentic way possible. The Dark Knight faces off against iconic DC supervillains. The story begins with the birth of Batman. Young Bruce Wayne trains in the League of Shadows, becomes the city's protector, and assembles a team of allies, including Jim Gordon, Catwoman, Robin, Nightwing, and Batgirl. The combat system combines fluid combos, stealth moves, and detective skills, allowing you to combine attacks and tactical decisions in dynamic battles. Each encounter demands agility and precise timing, and enemies and bosses are unforgiving. The open-world Gotham City offers freedom of movement and interaction. You can cling to buildings, glide above the streets, or quickly travel on Batmobiles and Batcycles. The city is full of crime, challenges, secrets, and rewards that unlock new opportunities for the hero. An adventure about a puppet sailor trying to regain his memories. Together with a mysterious girl, he embarks on a journey to a cursed ocean full of secrets, treasures, and fragments of a forgotten past that directly influence the shape of the world. The game world is vibrant, rich, and stylized with puppet theatrics. The characters have expressive facial expressions, fluid animation, and a unique visual style. Explore endless seas, lost islands, and the ruins of ancient civilizations. Collect trophies, battle sea monsters, customize your own ship, and gradually transform it into a full-fledged fleet. An atmospheric role-playing game that transports players to a dark and mysterious world where reality intertwines with ancient curses and bloody secrets. The game takes place in a dilapidated kingdom, where the remnants of a bygone civilization are dying under the onslaught of encroaching darkness. In this world, a different kind of people are born, half-breeds branded by an ancient power, known as Dustbloods. Players assume the role of one of these creatures, wielding unique abilities born of a blend of human and mystical essence. Heroes can wield forbidden magic, manipulate the forces of Twilight, and draw on their cursed bloodlines in battle. Each choice strengthens or deforms their body and soul, opening up different paths of character development. The game world is vibrant and non-linear. Cities, swamps, abandoned temples, and forgotten fortresses, everything reacts to the player's actions. The combat system combines dynamic melee combat, blood magic, and tactical interaction with the environment. Each enemy requires a unique approach, and encounters can quickly turn disastrous without a well-thought-out strategy. A full-fledged remake of the Halo Combat Evolved story campaign. It preserves the spirit of the original, but reinvents it with modern graphics, improved controls, and a wealth of fresh details. The ring world looks more alive than ever, and every firefight feels more intense thanks to new animations, physics, and an expanded arsenal of weapons and vehicles, including the ability to hijack enemy vehicles. The remake is complemented by 3 new prologue missions, where Master Chief and Sergeant Johnson encounter unknown enemies and uncharted locations, long before the events of the original. The Skulls return, changing the rules of combat and offering challenges for those seeking more than just victory. This is a familiar story about the beginning of a legend, told with the power of modern technology and respect for the past. The game can be played solo, in 2-player split screen on consoles only, or in 4-player online co-op. Crossplay and cross-progression are also supported. The sequel takes players to a dark kingdom on the brink of destruction, where the living and the dead intertwine in a single nightmare. Having lost the protection of the gods, humanity is defenseless against the encroaching darkness, and only one hero can challenge fate. The world crumbles before our eyes. Abandoned citadels, time-worn temples, and roads leading to the realm of the dead become an arena of trials. Every step is dangerous, every encounter a chance to endure or disappear. The combat system combines speed and brutality, where every blow carries weight. Well-honed builds, magic, and weapons help you overcome enemies and monstrous bosses whose fury tests the limits of endurance. The Umbral Lamp opens the path between worlds, offering new paths and forbidden powers. But the deeper you delve into the darkness, the greater the risk of losing not only your life, but your very soul. The main action takes place in the 1910s in a large metropolis, home to the Industrial Revolution, magic, and intrigue. The protagonist is a thief determined to become the best in his field. He'll use a variety of tools to pick locks, disable alarms, distract guards, and quickly escape. This online action game with service elements places players in the shoes of thieves. Navigating a fantasy city, players must search for treasures, transport them to their lair, and prevent their rivals from stealing from them. Much of the gameplay revolves around gathering information, which requires interacting with NPCs and the surrounding world. The game tells the story of 2 kingdoms on the brink of destruction. Azuria and Vermile are consumed by a crystalline plague when Rathalos emerges from a mysterious egg, a symbol of hope that becomes a harbinger of doom. A second, marked by the same sign, is born alongside it. The twins, like the ones that once plunged the world into civil war, carry the echoes of an ancient catastrophe on their wings. The protagonist is the heir of Azuria and the only Rathalos rider in the kingdom. As the leader of the Rangers, he protects monsters, explores mysterious courts, and fights against impending collapse. But the path to truth lies beyond the bounds of what is permitted. In the Forbidden Land north of Meridian, where the sparks of war once again smolder beneath the ashes of the past, a third-person sci-fi action game with roguelike elements. Set on the mysterious planet Carcosa, you play as a mighty warrior named Arjun Dev Raj, voiced by Rahul Kohli, star of The Fall of the House of Usher. The plot unfolds as follows. Carcosa is threatened by an ominous eclipse, and the local colony has disappeared. Our hero must unravel this mysterious mystery. But, as is typical in roguelike games, the path will be strewn with setbacks. The game's main feature is its irreversible progression system. After each death, the world changes, but all the weapon and suit upgrades you've made remain with you. So even defeats and sorrows won't be meaningless, they'll only fuel your efforts for another attempt.